If you play fantasy hockey, this video is for you. I'm the fantasy hockey expert, also known as Eric Wilson, and today we're going to be going over the Calgary Flames and their fantasy hockey value for 2025 to 2026. Let's get started with our top D players on the Flames. Starting off with number 3, we have Dustin Wolf, a guy who is kind of proven. Just came out of a very, very strong year where he proved to be the starter for the Flames. They are having issues filling up their backup role. You have Devin Cooley currently serving as the backup after Dan Vladar signed with Philly. Dustin Wolf is a very risky guy to draft in fantasy leagues, outside of maybe some dynasty keeper / long-term investment leagues where you're looking at a Flame team that could be good in the future. Dustin Wolf comes in as the 25th best goalie ranked by NHL.com. Go check out those rankings. I'll be doing my own top 25 goalies as well. He's currently ranked just under guys like Jeremy Swayman, Karel Vejmelka, UC Saros, and a lot of guys who are a little more proven, a little bit older, and also guys who have better teams in front of them. So you're looking at a guy like Vejmelka, a couple spots ahead of Wolf, who has a great power play in front of him, great defenseman in Sergachev, who's healthy now. You got Dursey. You've got just a great team in front of him. Then you look at Calgary, who is about to lose Rasmus Andersson. And I'm very curious as to why Wolf is in the top 25. And it's really disappointing that he has to be on this top 3 list. Now, there aren't very many other options put at 3. I really considered putting Nazem Kadri on the list, but him being a natural centerman does not help his case at all, despite a very good year last year. Let's go on to number 2 here. We're going to go on to Jonathan Huberdeau of the Calgary Flames, left winger, a guy who is pretty proven. He's a veteran on that team. He's going to be playing first line minutes, first power play. He's parked right in front of the net on that power play, which is exactly why he gets those scrap points. Even if he doesn't do the dirty work, stats don't have photos or videos, right? So we'll go right to number 1 here on the Flames, and that is MacKenzie Weegar. And remember the name MacKenzie Weegar. If you guys are new to fantasy hockey, or if you guys haven't been in a keeper league or a category league, MacKenzie Weegar is a multi-category K. And when I say that, I mean it. MacKenzie Weegar led all defensemen in hits last year, along with having a ton of blocks, a ton of shots, and playing on the power play one. Now, again, with Rasmus Andersson leaving Calgary, there's no doubt in my mind that Weegar will stay on the power play one. There's a bit of hope for Zane Perrick to join the Flames and to be the guy on PV1. But that being said, it wasn't like Perrick absolutely dominated the AHL last year. I think that he's still going to take a time to, come about, be a good defensive player before he just turns into a Lane Hudson and tries to dominate the league. So I'm not worried about Weegar this year in terms of his point production. That being said, he's not a guy who's going to exceed the 50-point mark. So he is the clear-cut number 1 in Calgary here. Definitely a guy you can draft if you have category leagues, or again, leagues that count blocks, hits, penalty minutes, things like that. You won't really be able to replace him unless you're looking at a guy like Mo Sider, who is more expensive, has the name value. And so the one good thing about this Flames team is that they don't have much name value. So you could probably trade for their players for pretty cheap compared to a team like Boston, Toronto, New York, where you're looking at young guys who have a lot of trade value just because of their names. So number 1 is a clear-cut Weegar, and now it will go into my top 2 sleepers on this team. This is where it gets exciting because this is where you can get draft sleepers, draft steals, things like that. We'll start off with Matt Coronato of the Flames. He's a winger, and he had a mini breakout last year. Absolute snipe of a shot. He played a little bit in the top 6, but he looks like he's going to play on the second line this year. He doesn't just shoot the puck, but he is elite on the power play. He'll be playing top power play with Weegar, Kadri, Huberdeau, etc. And it looks like there's going to be lots of room for him to possibly take that top line role. The guy who I'm talking about when I say top line role is Connor Zary, who will be playing in his second year and just signed a 3-year extension with the Flames. So currently, Zary's listed as the right wing one on Daily Faceoff. Make sure you guys check out the link in my bio to access their lineups, which are updated based on practices, training camp, and everything like that. So Zary as the right wing one does have a bit of sleeper potential. Now, he is not going to get you your multi-category coverage, though. So Zary will get you a few shots, maybe a little bit of power play 2-time, have they 1-time, but I think Coronato is your sleeper just because of his shot volume and his ability to jump up in the lineup, play top line minutes, and again, his lock on power play 1. So you're looking at 2 sleepers. You're looking at a big bust candidate in Dustin Wolf. Again, guys, avoid Dustin Wolf if you can. Make sure you guys are taking more proven goalies like Swayman, Benjamelta. Again, you're taking a clear-cut number 1 ahead of those guys like Ottinger or Vasi, and those guys should be the number 2 you look at. Now, if you are in a young league, look into Zane Prek, look into a few of these young sleepers, but avoid a lot of their defensemen like Kevin Mall, Daniil Marimanov, and so forth. And that's going to wrap up our video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys follow me for more at the Fantasy Hockey Expert. I'll be releasing the lineups daily and be finishing off our 32 and 32 series before the season begins. Tomorrow we'll be going into the Carolina Hurricanes, where I go over Sebastian Aho, Andrei Svechnikov, and Seth Jarvis. I won't reveal what spots they take in my top 3, but all 3 of those players will be in the Canes' top 3. So stay tuned. Check out our video tomorrow. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.